Good morning to all. So, in this session, I would like to share with you a little information about Minutes on Indian Education, which was written by Lord Babington Macaulay. The Charter Act of 1813 did not specify the methods to secure the objects of revival and improvement of nature, the encouragement of learned natives of India, and the introduction and promotion of knowledge of sciences among the inhabitants of British territories in India. The vagueness of Clause 43 of the Charter Act 1813 intensified the Oriental Accidentals educational controversy in India. Since the dawns of 19th century, there had emerged two groups among the officials of the company. One group was of the Orientalist or classist who wanted the promotion of Indian education through the medium of Sanskrit, Arabic, and Persian, whereas the other group was of Anglicist or Accidentalists who were in favor of developing Western education in India through the medium of English. Points of controversy on the interpretation of Charter Act of 1813 and the national system of education and Macaulay's role. At the time, a major Oriental and Accidental controversy was going on in respect of the following issues. Aim of education of the British policy, whether it should be to educate the classes in higher branches of learning or the masses in elementary education. Type of knowledge is whether to preserve and promote Oriental learning or to introduce Western knowledge, culture, and science. In medium of instruction, whether English or Persian and Sanskrit in Bengal, English or Indian languages in Bombay, and Madras should become the medium of instruction. Agency of education, when we take the agency of education, whether the government should assume direct responsibility of educating the Indians or the indigenous system of the country to continue. Even missionaries, whether the shores of India to be thrown open to missionaries of all parts of the world to promote education or to a few missionaries or not. There were important English officers of the East India Company who were the supporters of the Oriental point of view. H.D. Prinsep was the education secretary in Bengal, who was the leader of the Orientalist group. On the contrary, some prominent Indians like Rajaram Mohan Rai supported the Anglicists who were in favor of English and Western writing. Main aim of introducing English system of education in India was Macaulay wrote in his mind, we must at present do our best to form a class of persons Indian in blood and color and English in taste, opinions, in morals, and in intellect, in which we will understand that how Macaulay has adopted the British mentality to implement English in India. Macaulay's arguments in favor of English. Whatever the discussions were made by Macaulay, he always supported English. Macaulay rejected the claims of Arabic and Sanskrit as against English because he considered that English was better than either of them. His arguments in favor of English were, it is the key to modern knowledge and is therefore more useful than Arabic or Sanskrit. Because he believed in science and technology, which made a lot of impact on Victorian era. Due to the science and technology, there were many industries developed so that industrial revolution happened in England. When he believed in science, he had known very well about the knowledge is being spread through the medium of English, not in Arabic and Sanskrit. That is why he strongly supported the English, which was the important medium for Indians and the Britishers who were under the rule of British from England in its territories. It stand preeminent even among the languages of the West in India. English is the language sponsored by the ruling class because the Britishers, especially who are ruling in England, who want to implement English as their medium of instructions in its territorial or colonial countries or colonial places. It is likely to become the language of commerce throughout the seas of the East. As we understood the history of British India, English, the English people who came to India in the beginning, later on, they developed the air business and their rule in India. So that in their business, English was the important medium. So many people, especially British people, who wanted to communicate with English, so that they wanted to implement English in Indian schools. It would bring about Renaissance in India, just as Greek or Latins did in England, or just as the language of Western Europe in civilized Russia. The natives are desirous of being taught English and are not eager to learn Sanskrit or Arabic. When Britishers who were ruling in India, when some people of India who wanted to learn English, and also the natives of England who also very desirous of being taught English, so that they did not interest to learn Sanskrit or Arabic. It is possible to make the natives of this country good English scholars, and to that end our efforts ought to be directed. It was impossible to educate the body of people, but it was possible that through English education to bring about a class of persons, Indian in blood and color and English in taste, opinions in morals and in intellect, and that education was to filter down from them to the masses. Acceptance of Minute by Lord William Bentinck. Lord William Bentinck endorsed the Minute by writing one line beneath it. I give my entire concurrence to the sentiments expressed in the minutes. He passed the resolution of March 1835, which determined the age, content, and medium of instruction in India. So, in this way, Lord Bentinck, who wanted to implement English as a medium of instruction in India, and also that language had been continued for long years in the minds or in the speakers of especially Indians. For that was the intention of Lord Macaulay, and he was also very much interested and in interacting with about the English. He was he was a very good speaker, and his speech was also uh, attracted and listened in the House of Commons. He was voluntarily involved in many social occasions, and also framing such educational policies. That is why, in his minutes, he wrote very important points about Indian education. Thank you.